Hi, all. So, this session is all about the eighth unit from the textbook Writing for Academic and Professional Success. And the unit is entitled as Writing for Professional Purpose Second. And did you heard about curriculum vitae or resume and biodata? Yes, you might heard about them. And what is a curriculum vitae? And what is a resume? And what about biodata? You know, all the three are, often used as a synonyms in India. But there are slight or a subtle differences between the three. So, what are the differences and what is actually a curriculum vitae? We can discuss it. And curriculum vitae. What is a curriculum vitae? And commonly, curriculum vitae is referred to as a CV. CV. CV is the short form of curriculum vitae. And it is a detailed synopsis of your skills, education, and experience. And also, it provides a detailed summary of accomplishments academic, professional, and personal. So, basically, curriculum vitae is a detailed synopsis of your skills, education, experience, and your accomplishments. And we can call it as a massive document. We can call curriculum vitae as a massive document. Why? Because it contains everything that you have done in your professional life. That is why we can call it as a massive document. And it gets longer. The CV gets longer as you get more work experience, or if you get more accomplishment, that CV also get longer. Okay, then the CV will typically between 3 to 5 pages in length. Basically, the CV is in the length of 3 to 5 pages because it covers everything someone has ever done in their professional life. That is why it is always between 3 to 5 pages. And when someone gains more credentials and experiences, what will happen? Their CV will be also get longer. If you have done if you are done anything new, or if you have gone to an event or given a presentation, you can add that to in your CV. And at the same time, if you get a certificate from other any other presentations and any other events, you can add that too. Or any other jobs that you have done, you can add that too in your CV. That is why CV is typically between 3 to 5 pages, because you covers everything. Actually, the CV covers everything that you have done ever in your professional life. And a CV is used primarily when applying for academic, scientific, or research positions. That if you are applying for a academia or a academic post, it is better to use CV. And also, if you are applying for fellowship and grants, it is better to use CV than resume and biodata, because it is a massive document. It contains everything that you have done, your qualification, your experience, your accomplishment, everything. So it is better to use CV in these cases. And many people in academia use a CV because it shows all the person's accomplishments and achievements. That is why they use CV. And that way, by presenting a CV, they can land a position of teaching, or as a researcher in a university or college. So that is why CV is better for those kinds of situations. And other thing is that a CV is static. It is very important. A CV is static. That means it doesn't change for different positions. Only the differences is there in the cover page. Sorry, the cover letter. Okay, so the CV is static. That means it doesn't change for different positions, but the differences is there in the cover letter. If you use a CV, you can use the same document or the same CV for every job or a research position that you are applying for. But what you have to do, you will need to update it regularly, because some accomplishment or achievement will happen later, and you can add that too in the previous CV. So you will need to update it regularly, but the file, the the main file, the file itself doesn't need to change, because you can add more information, more accomplishment, and go means credentials into the previous CV. It doesn't need to change the whole file. Then actually CV, is in a broader sense, we can say CV is an overview of your entire life. So they are almost, almost in a chronological order, in the sense, one thing happened, then you will write the next thing that happened in your life. So it's in the chronological order, so you can add more accomplishments as they happen. So CV is always in a chronological order. So these are the things about CV. So CV is what is CV? CV is actually a massive document. It contains all the accomplishment, all the experiences, and your academic achievements and everything in as in the form of a document. And it is almost 3 to 5 pages, and it is static, and it is always there in the form of a chronological order. So these are the things related to CV. And what as a resume? I told you this resume and CV, they were similar, but there are slight differences between these two. So what is the difference? So basically this CV, what is a resume? What is a resume? So resume means it's a formal document that a job applicant create to itemize his or her qualification for a position. So resume can help you to get a job. So it is more common to use a resume for a non-academic job. So whether you want to work for a major corporation, or you want to start a business, or to become a part of a business, resume is a great tool for those things. For an academic position or academic jobs, it is better to use CV. Whereas if you want to work for a major corporation or a small business, it is better to use resume. Okay. Then it is limited to 1 to 2 pages, because it is short. Resume is short. Comparing with a CV, it is short. And you can still, you can, even though it is short, you can still showcase your experiences in a resume. But the thing that you have to focus is, you need to be concise, and you have to consider what to add, what is the most important thing. So you have to be very you have to be considerate about the things that you are adding into the resume. The most important thing should be added into the resume. It is very important. So you have to be aware about these things. So it is limited to 1 to 2 pages, and it is not static. It can change. Resume can change. When you write a resume, you have to be particular about what to add, because what is to you have to be aware that what is to highlight, because actually this resume is the highlight reel of your career. It is actually the highlight reel of your career. And so it is needed to make sure that to important means to include the important things, important achievements in your professional life. And you have to write in such a way that to make you look like a perfect candidates. So you have to be very careful while writing resume. Then it is better for non-academic jobs. I told you that CV is used to apply for an academic jobs, and resume is better to use when you are applying for a non-academic jobs. And resume is highlight reel of your career, because it contains only the major achievements I told you, and it is more specific. Because why it is called more specific? Whether you want to move on to a position, or in a company, or switch fields, you know your resume should help you to do that, or help you to achieve that. You should have to adjust what you have to do is you have to adjust your resume objectives. Then you can means move on to the next position or whatever you want to. You have to adjust your resume's objectives to highlight certain skills that will help you to succeed in that job. So the using resume can be a great thing if you want to get a job outside of your field. Why? Because it doesn't means it contains only 1 to 2 pages, so it is not needed to express everything or your experience and everything. There's no need to mention those things, so it is better to use resume if you are applying for a job which is outside of your field. So one of the best resume building tip is to focus on how you are a good fit for that job. You have to focus that how you are a good fit for that job. That is very important. You have to focus on that when you are writing a resume. Okay, so even though CV is written in a chronological way, resume can write both in a chronological and a functional way. But it is a functional resume is more perfect when you, that is a great option. If you don't have much job experience, the functional resume will help you to get that job. Okay, so what about a resume? Resume is a document that that a job applicant create to itemizes her qualification for that position, and it is limited to 1 to 2 pages, and it is not static. That means it can change according to the post that you are wishing to, and it is shorter than CV, and it is better for non-academic jobs, and it resumes means the resume highlights your uh, career's best performances, and it is more specific. So, what is a biodata? That is very simple. Biodata means a data filled in a prescribed form. There is a form, and you have to fill that form. There is a prescribed form, and you have to fill data in that. That is biodata, and that also like resume and CV. It's about someone's life, jobs, and achievements and experience, everything. So, biodata is very simple compared to CV and resume. So, it is very important to know the differences between CV and resume. It is often asked in your exams, so you have to study this, the differences between CV and resume. So, CV uses means for academic and research jobs. So, CV is used when you are applying for an academic and research jobs, whereas resume is for other jobs. And CV showcase everything you have ever done, whereas resume focuses on the most important things you have done in your professional life. And CV includes your achievements in schools and other academic work, whereas resume covers your skills that can help you to get that job. And resume focuses on that particular skill, whereas CV, CV includes everything that you achieved from your schools and colleges and your in your academic work, whereas resume focuses on a particular skill that can help you to get you that job. Okay, so then CV is depends on your experience, but can depends on your experience, but can be many pages. CV, I told you, almost typically 3 to 5 pages, whereas resume is 1 to 2 pages. And CV list your academic honors and awards. So in CV you can add academic honors and awards and accomplishment, everything, certificates, everything that you get. Then but in resume it is not needed. Only include honors and awards if you have nothing else to write in resume. So if you have nothing else to write in resume, you can add that honors and awards in resume. It is not a problem, but uh, it is better to exclude these things. Then in CV includes a list of references, whereas in resume generally excludes references. And CV always in a chronological way, but resume can be chronological or functional, but it is good to be a functional resume. Okay, then CV a general overview of your life, whereas resume is specific to the job position, which job you are pursuing. And so resume is specific to the job position, whereas CV is a general overview of your life. So this is all about the differences between CV and resume. So you have to go through this and you have to study the differences between these two. Thank you.